Hi, everyone. Welcome to Live. It's Ann Hine. I'm going to wait here for a moment. I'm getting up my comments on Facebook here so that I can see who's out there today. And let's see, my comments are on, so that's good. And we'll just hang here for just a moment before we get started. I like to give everyone a chance to find us on the page. Sometimes that takes a moment or two. And then from there, I'll turn the camera on. All right, looks like we've got a crowd, so let's do that. Let me get in the right spot here. And then I can turn off this. There we go. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Live with Janome. I'm Ann Hine, embroidery software specialist for Janome America. And today we're going to be talking about the Artistic Digitizer software. We're going to talk a bit about the browse function and how you would use that to view your embroideries. You could use that to load a USB stick, use the cable connection, do Wi-Fi with that. We'll look at the file open as well, and we're going to talk a little bit about navigating on Facebook. I thought since I'm set up with my two laptops today, I'm filming one and I'm streaming from the other, so we will do that as well. So many of you know I use both a Mac and a PC with the software. So I have my Mac set up for the Artistic Digitizer. And then I have on my PC, I also have the junior version. So I'll be able to show you the browse function on both of those because they do look a little different. The file systems are different on a Mac and a PC. So I'll show you both of those. We'll go back and forth between those. And everything looks good there. All right, and you know, it's a polka dot kind of day, so I got to have one of these. These just came from my friend Dot. So thank you, Dot. Cheers to you. Anyways, all right, so let's jump right in. I'm going to show the browse function first on the Mac, and then we'll go over to the PC and look at that as well. So let me go ahead and change here my screen and open this up. All right, and I'm just going to, I've got a little extra window. Let me see if I can close that little extra thing. I don't think I need it. There we go. All right. So when you open your software, most of you know this is your welcome page. And I do want to emphasize when you select here, oh, I don't know why my mouse isn't showing. Let's see what's happening here. There it is. Okay, go back to welcome. So when you on your welcome page, when you click here, you will open up where the machines are. All the different brands are under here, and then all the different machines are under here. And you would pick your default hoop, the hoop that you want to open every time you come to your software. You don't have to select it each time. It will automatically open that when you create a new page. Now, if you were bringing in a design from another that you had saved, maybe you saved it with your 15,000 and now you're at the CM17 or whatever, it will come in that hoop and you could change it on the screen itself. And then down here is your fabric, which is up this part, and then your category for embroidery is down there. And they sort of work in conjunction. The normal category is all of these fabrics here, and that will cover your density for all of these. So you don't have to pick one of these fabrics. It does give you a little bit of a background image on there. I like to do none normal and have it white, but here are the other categories. If you were in smooth, you'd have these different ones here. Okay, and it's a lighter density with the smooth. Here we go. If we go to ultra light, you can see that would be if you're going to stitch on tulle. If you were creating on tulle and you wanted a light bit of density, you would have this. And I've used that to create an applique, a tulle applique on top of a tulle applique. So that's how those work. They work together. So your normal category is all of these, so you don't necessarily have to pick those. If you do pick one, you can come back in here like that and come up here and change the color of it if you would like a different color. and not have that dark color. But it does leave this graphic behind your work. I do like the none normal and the white. It's great for when I demo. All right, so that's that part. Once you pick, select OK at the bottom and it'll keep theirs or X out. And then these are the ways to get into your program: create new, open, and browse. You can also do new up here and open. And then I am on my Mac, but up at the very top is File. And when you click that, you have new and open as well. So I like the big icons here because they're easy. So I was mentioning we're going to work with browse today. And you can see on the little icon here that's going to show things in your computer, if you have a USB stick in your computer or in your machine, and you can see the cloud as well. So I'm going to open this up, and this is my first view right here. Down here you can see I'm connected to my CM17. It's a wireless machine. Our S9 will connect and show, and so will the MC15000 will show there. I can see things that are on the ready to sew screen. If I had a design pulled up, I could see it. It would show over here. I could look in my built-in drive, and I have 2 USB sticks. You can see what's in those. And I'm not clicking on these at the moment because I want to show them on my PC. They're going to look the same on the PC, but I don't want to connect with 2 different versions of the software to my machine. It just confuses. Sometimes it confuses things. So my software is seeing the machine. If I clicked on any of these, yes, you would see those, and I'll show that when we get over there. But when you're in the browse function, it opens up first to your devices. So this is my whole list of devices. Now, on my Mac today, I do not have a USB stick in my Mac, so you do not see that here, but I'll show you on the PC. But you would see a USB stick here if you had that in there. I do have 2 of them in my machine, so I can access those. And then on a Mac, you'll see your Macintosh HD and your data. So under your HD, you have users, and under users, you have these 3 folders. So if I clicked here, you could see them open up. And I would go under the A Hein, and then it would open up the things that are under my name. And under documents, I have a desktop folder. Let's look at that first. So on the desktop, I have a folder called desktop, sort of where I clean things up. I have lots of folders, and I could open those up. And if there's embroidery designs on them, they will show up here. Or if there's artwork, I have both of these selected at the bottom, embroidery and artwork. And I don't think some of those are empty folders at the moment because I'm just having placeholders over there. Let's see, this butterfly, there's one in the butterfly sample. So here's 2 that are in here, and then I can select them and open them. Or if I wanted to, I could, whoops, sorry, let me go back. Didn't mean to close that. That was under desktop, and here we go, and butterfly. So if I wanted to, I could take that, and if I had a USB stick here, I could bring it right to my USB stick and save it to a USB stick. So I don't actually have to physically open it all the way to put it on my USB stick. So I would be able to load my stick that way. All right, so I could do like a copy and a paste on there. One of the other things you can do is when you're in your folders, let's go back to this one. And on my desktop folder, I'm going to go back one more. So this folder here, if I wanted that to be in my favorites, I could just right click on it, and right here it says add it to my favorites. So that might be one I want to add to my favorites, though I'm going to show you a different one I think would be a better choice today. So I'm going to go back under my name, and I'm going to go to documents, because on my Mac, I put my folders, my embroidery folders, under my documents. I don't keep a lot of designs over here. Most of mine are on my OneDrive and on the cloud, and which I could access here. But I mostly do my major saving when I'm on my PC. so I don't have a lot of folder things. But this one here is my embroidery design folder, and there's a lot of folders in it. So I would want that one easy access in my favorites. So I could come over here, right click on it, add to favorites. I could search it. I could do any of these other things. I could rename it, copy it. If I removed it, it would remove it from my device. So I don't want to do that, but I do want to add it to favorites. It's just going to make a link so that when I open favorites, it's right here. So when I come in to my software, let me close this so it'll look like it normally would. When I open my software and I see devices, I can just come here to favorites, and right there are my favorite folders. There's my desktop, so I can find my desktop one. There's my embroidery designs. I'm going to click on it. It shows you then, after you click on it, under devices where it is in your machine, so you in your computer, so you can see it. So under my favorites, I have all of these things here. Wait a minute, let me double check here. Embroidery designs. There we go. So I have my embroidery designs in here. Let's see. These are the samples. What's that? Oh, here I have an extra folder of those samples. My spool guy, he might not, I'm not sure why he doesn't load. Sometimes if they're, if I brought them over, they're still loading from the cloud, so they take a little bit to come down. So documents, I could do bring the embroidery designs over there. This folder down here, we cannot see what the name is. This is a folder of a lot of designs I brought from, it's this one, the WeTransfer one. I transferred a lot of designs through WeTransfer. So this is one I want to see in favorites. So I'm going to put it over here, and then I'll open it for you to show you what's in it. And I would probably rename this to, I'm not sure what, but I would rename it. And in here are my embroidery categories, and then I have a small folder of designs from that I created from the M7. But let's go back to here. And then the embroidery categories are here. So all of these have designs in them. And I could go down here and look and say, oh, let's see, maybe I want fringe flowers today. These are fringe flowers that I created. And there's a little patch in there that we did in French. I could go back to my categories, and then maybe there's florals I want to look at. So I have individual designs out here. Well, this is actually JPEG, and this is an embroidery, and then there's some things in these folders as well. Because I have both embroidery and artwork chosen, it will sort both of those out for me. If I just wanted to see artwork, it's going to only show me, this has artwork, this probably has artwork. Let's look in simple flowers. These are JPEGs, so it's only in a PNG, so it's only going to show me artwork. If I wanted to see just embroidery, I could click embroidery, and it's only going to show me embroidery designs. I typically have them both clicked because I'm working with both of those all the time anyways. All right, so let's see here, one more thing. And then your recents would be here. These are where any place you were last, just like on any computer, there's always a recent, so you could go back into here. So when I open my computer, I really do like the browse function for the fact that once I'm in there and I open my folder, I can see all my designs. I could make them smaller if I wanted, or larger. There's other views you can use here as well. The other way to access is through the open folder right here. And a lot of us are used to this. On a Mac, it's a little different in your where you find things, but I can go to my OneDrive here, and here are all the folders. Let me click here. Here are all the folders that are in my OneDrive. And of course, I have an embroidery design folder here. And then we could open those up. And then I all these categories, which were in the other one I had, I transferred over. I transferred a copy of this. This is the actual one. Here's embroidery by company. And then I could open up these and open one of these, and you can see the design. This is the PDF, and this is the Jeff that's in there, and then I could open that up from there. You don't always see some of your let me see if it's in this one. Some of your designs will show up. Here's some designs in here. Let's open the Jeff ones. So some of them will give you a little graphic, but when you're in Browse, you always have a graphic. So that's why I like to see the picture of my design. That's why I like Browse better. But some of us like Open, and sometimes it's easier for you to find a folder that way too. If you, depending on your view, for me, I've just gotten so used to Browse. And my biggest thing with Browse, because I have that Wi-Fi connection, or if I connected by cable, I love to have all of this right here. So Cynthia's asking about if she can load Digitizer on both her Mac and PC. Yes, you can. Typically, what you would do, and I go back and forth all day long. I have a Mac and a PC. Today I'm using 2 different copies so that I don't have to log out of one and close and log back in. But the process is, when you are done with your software, you close your software with the little red dot here, or the X on your PC, and then you find your software key. So right here is my software key, and I would click it, and I want to do show, and then I would log out right here. Once it highlights, I could log out. It's not highlighting because my software is not closed at this moment. So you would log out, then you'd go over to your other computer, and you'd find and show your software key, and it would highlight where it said log out. It'll highlight activate, and then you would click that, and then double click on your icon for your software and open your software on the other computer. So it's very seamless to go back and forth. When you do that, I do recommend that you get in the habit of closing your software and logging out when you're done with a session, so that no matter what computer you go to, you can always log in. You don't get stuck somewhere. I travel a lot and I only bring one computer sometimes. Sometimes I have to bring both of them, but I'd hate to get stuck with my software open and not logged out and at home, and then I would have to, there is a process to get it done. You have to contact tech support for that, but it's much easier to get in the habit of logging out. And that's one reason I really like the software. You can put it on multiple computers, from PCs, Macs, desktops, all of those, and work on the device, whichever is more handy for you at that time. All right, so let's go over to the PC so I can show you how it looks in the PC. So I will just minimize this down and bring my little window back here. Hang on a second. There we go. Now I am filming my my PC. So what you see is my iPhone is actually filming my PC. And look, I'm right there. So this, we're opening here right to the, we're going to do Facebook in a little bit. This is the Janome sewing machine page. So let me just click here and I'll bring up Digitizer. So this is the junior version and it looks the same. The 2 ways you could tell is if I went into help and help topic, or no, about, sorry. And then this came up, it's junior. And then the other way to tell is when you go into create new, you don't have all the tools. There's a lot of tools here missing. So you don't have the digitize tool, the shapes tool, the array tool, and the edit nodes tool. So those are missing from here. So let's go back. It does have the same, everything else is the same. It's just less tools overall. Again, you have the slider, so you can make your recents in the middle. They're larger and smaller. You can go to browse, open, and create new. So let's go into browse on a PC, and hopefully this, I think it's looking pretty good. I'm actually gonna change the, hang on one second. I can change the view a little bit. I have to adjust here. Went out a little bit, and there we go. That's better. Now we can see it, more of it. All right, so I'm gonna open browse, and you can see this looks the same. It opened in devices, and let me go all the way up to the top, and I'll close some of these under there. Oops, there we go. So you can see this is my C drive and my devices and Windows. You can see my CM17 right here. And I don't have anything in the ready to sew screen, though I could put something there really quickly. Hang on one second, I will pull up just something fast. There we go. So it's on the ready to sew screen, and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, things are moving. So when I click ready to sew, this is the design that's on my ready to sew screen. So if I wanted to work with that right now, I could bring it would be the same on my Mac. I could see it on my Mac. I would just bring it over like this. If I wanted to look in my built-in drive, if there are things that I might have saved, and I have saved a lot of things in my built-in drive, it'll show you on your machine, on any of our machines, what is left in your drive on your machine, so you know how much space you have. We have quite a bit of space on the CM17. So these are things I've saved. They're outside the EMB folder. When I open the EMB folder, I have designs in the EMB folder loose, and I have folders in my EMB folder, and I have the EMBF folder in there. And when I double click on that, I have a couple things in there as well. The point I'm trying to make for the CM17, the 550E, the 500E, and the MC15000, you don't have to use your EMB and EMBF folders, whether you're on you're in the drive portion or a USB stick or whatever. You can just have them loose on there. We have those up arrows now. So also in here, let's close that. I said I had 2 USB sticks. So this one here has these folders and some designs. And then right here is the EMB folder on my USB stick. Now, do you ever notice there's an ORD? The ORD is used for the sewing side. And when I was teaching, which I'm going to be doing some more of this, I'm teaching Stitch Composer. Your Stitch Composer designs can go in there and be transferred to your machine. You can't transfer wirelessly, you have to use a USB stick. But from the Stitch Composer software, you can load your ORD folder and bring that over to the machine. All right, so here's all the folders I have here. Let's open this one. I don't know if there's anything in there. Sometimes there aren't. I just have open things. Yeah, there's nothing in there. Some of them I keep my folders open, but I've deleted to show how to delete. And here's my EMB. Let's go in there. And here's some designs that are loose in my EMB folder. And then right here is my EMBF. I may have something in there. Let me see. I don't typically use my EMB and my EMBF. I do like to have, let's go back here. I do like to have folders. So I'll have my EMB folder, and then I'll have my other folders that I use. And I'll go from there. Janome will always show you folders when you open, no matter what machine we have. They'll show you folders first. And if you have loose designs like I do here, you'll have page turn arrows to use. Now, some of our machines, you have to use your EMB folder, and you might possibly have to use your EMBF folder, depending on what machine you have, okay? And what I like to say, if you're classically trained and you're used to using EMB and EMBF, continue on, no harm, no foul. But just remember, you don't have to. So let's look in my other stick and see what's in there. This one here. I have some other things. Again, there's EMB and ORD. There's some other information. It's in this August class thing. Nothing in there. Let's see. And maybe in my Ann's. Oh, here we go. So I have this is a design. It's a graphic, I believe, but it might be embroidery now. This one here has some other designs from a class that I teach. And if I have embroidery and artwork, so there we go. And if I wanted to use any of these, I could just double click and they open right here on the screen of my machine. browser stays open right there wherever I am. Let's see, if I wanted to, let's see if this works. If I make a copy of this and I want to put it on my USB drive, well, let's see, I do have one. Oh, let me plug one in. Hang on, let's do this. I'm going to plug a USB stick into my PC so you can see what happens when you put a stick in. And even if I wasn't in this screen, I would get this message. Embroidery files found on my D drive. Do I want to see them in browser? And I'm going to say yes. And now I can see I have an extra item over here. I have my USB stick that's in my computer itself. All of these things are in my computer. These are in my machine. Okay. So if I have something, so any of these, I can, let's see what's in these. Some of these are the same. What's in this one? Oh, there we go. Easy Does It Quilting is in there. All right. I can do the same thing I did on my other one. If I want to move a folder to my favorites, I can do that as well. These would be connected to a USB, so they don't save in here. But I have a lot of things that I've made my favorites, so I don't have to go looking for them. These are my favorite things right here. A few of my favorite things. How about that? And then you can see my Janome machines would be down there. Let's go up here, back to devices. Here's my CM17 right here. We looked at all of that already. Okay, we'll close this one up. I can even see in my CM17 all the built-in samples. So if I wanted to see them all at once over here, I can click here. I'm not going to do that. It takes just a little bit for them to load up, and I am streaming today. So I don't really want to take the extra time to do that. But I want to show you something really quick. If I have something open here, and I opened my, let's go back to favorites here. Where am I seeing now? Let's go to Urban Threads. Now I don't know why. Oh, you know what? Maybe I had an update and something is not where they should be. Let's go to this. Here we go. We'll go to this, and then I'll open my embroidery categories. I'm going to open animals, and let's say I want to move one of these Jeff files to my USB stick to take to my machine. So I'm going to scroll down so I can see my USB stick. There it is there. And I'm going to, let's do this one here. I'm going to right click and copy. Then I'm going to come to my drive and open it. And if I want to put it in the EMB folder, I can open that. And then I can right click again and paste. And now it's in there. I can take my USB stick out of my computer and take it to my machine. So see how easy that is? I know sometimes we don't like to open a design from a designer in our software, but what they're talking about is if you did this and opened it in here. This is where the software has a chance to do any magic to it. So if you are just moving it to a USB stick, you can view it, right click, copy, and then paste it wherever you'd like to put it. Does that make sense? Hopefully, on that part, hopefully. All right, let me think what else we were going to talk about on this. I think I covered browse pretty well. Again, the reason I just love browse is that I can see so much all at once, which is very helpful. Now, let's go look at going back here, and we'll do open on a PC so you can see that. So when you open on a PC, you have your tabs over here where you can look. I could look on my desktop. I could look in my libraries, maybe in my documents, and then I could go through all of, any of these folders wherever I have things. I could go to this PC and find things here, go to my downloads. I could use any of these things over here. Let's see what's on my desktop. Ooh, there's a lot of things on the desktop. So I do have, let's do Block Party and see what's in there. And then I have some working designs. I have only artwork showing, so I don't have any artwork, but let me do the drop down. And at the very top, I can say all supported, and it will show me now my draw files. Now, when I click, it doesn't show me a picture unless I click on it. And down here, it shows me a picture. So you really only see one, but sometimes for some people, it's easier for them to look through their computer in this way because they're used to it. This drop down will bring me out here. I can see there's my OneDrive. And then from there, I can go to my working folder. I can go to from there, I can go to my, oh, wait a minute. I want to go to my embroidery folder. Go back up here. There we go. And then my embroidery folder. There we go. And then I can get into my embroidery categories and my embroider by company. Any of these things down here, I can get into any of those folders. But you can see it's only going to open one at a time. But for some people, that's easy. It's quicker. So I always say, you know, learn other ways to do it so you're comfortable with all of it and you know different ways to find things. And then you might find your favorite way. Okay, there we go. So that shows you how to use Open. And should you have any of these, well, whenever I go back to Welcome and I open Browse, it will put a little Browse tab up here for me. If I close Welcome, and oops, it went to the work page because I closed it, I can come up here to Window and I'll find Welcome there and I could bring it right back. Sometimes this little dot right here is closed so that your videos don't show. So you have that option to have those there or have those there. All right, so let me see what time it is. Okay, let's do a little bit of going out on Facebook and doing a little bit of work on Facebook. That way I can keep you up to date on a few things. So let me go back to this. So here we are. Make sure we can see it good. I think we can. All right, so I've opened the Janome sewing machines page in my Facebook. And here's the main part of it. We'll just go by that little thing there. Somewhere down here, we might see our video pop up. But just to give you a little anatomy of the page, you know, your notifications are up here. You can change your account up in this area too. Across here are topic areas within our page. You can go under videos, and here you can see there's our video running right now. You can see all the previous videos here. So these are the latest ones. And then down here we have our playlists that are in the past. More as we go down. Some of them are sorted out quite nicely. So you'll be able to find things just like that. So here's some weekday lives that they put in here. Here's our little stitch composer thing. We'll be going back to that in a bit. Oh, here's the one today. It's coming down in this area. So these are also being moved over to YouTube, so you can find them over at YouTube. But let's say, I'm going to actually go to a different page to do this. Well, yeah, because I don't want to start a video. If you wanted to save a video, I don't know. Yeah, I can't do it here. I'm going to open up the Janome Artistic Digitizer page. And if there's something you wanted to save here, let's open a video. We have ours over here. You can find them under Media, or you can go under Guides. And when you go under Guides, we have all these videos under here, all kinds of videos and different things. So let's look at, we'll just put up this one here, Zip Pouch of the Month, so you can see it. There it is. Now say this, I have this on and I want to save it. So see these three dots right up here? I'm going to point right there. See those dots? If you click on those dots, you'll get all of these things here, and you can save this video, and it saves in your saved items. So let's click Save. And within my saved videos, I've made collections. I'm going to put this one in the CM17. So I'm going to select that and done. And then I'm going to close this window. And over here is where I would find my saved. So this is watch, this is marketplace, this is gaming, and this is see all. That's where we want to go, see all. And then you would scroll down. There's your social things, there's entertainment, shopping, personal, and right there is saved. So I can click there, and under saved, here are all of my collections. And then here's the video I saved. So I could just open a collection. Let's say in the Continental Club, I wanted one of those. So I could come down here and pick one of these. Ooh, content transfer and export. There we go. So you can save those videos right to your own area, which makes it, I think that makes it nice. Then you don't have to go searching for them. So just a quick tip on that part of it. All right, so I'm going to go back to the welcome to my regular page here, put the camera back on. Let's see here. There we go. And hopefully this helps you a little bit with browsing your designs, because a lot of times people will say, I need a viewer for my designs. Well, right there in Artistic Digitizer, you have your browse function. That's your viewer. You can see all your designs that way, and you can see your artwork, or you can sort it just to see your designs, your embroidery designs. And it will show you all your embroidery designs, whether they're Jeff or another, if you have other brands, maybe you have other ones too. You might have a different machine, different couple of machines. That's what I'm trying to say. And you would see all of those as well. So you could go through those and see multiple designs at once. If there's a whole bunch of them you wanted to move to your USB stick, you would click on the first one, hold down shift, click on the last one. It would collect up all of those. You would click copy, open up your USB stick like I did with that single design, right click, paste, and all of those would go onto your USB stick. So quickly you can put them all over there on your USB stick, okay? Easy as we can go. And then on the other part, just a little navigating on Facebook. People don't really know how to find some things, and those little words across the top, especially on the Janome Artistic Digitizer Facebook page. That is our official page. That's our main page where all the information is. There's guides there. You can see the quilt back here. This is our mystery quilt block party we did last year. All of those videos are on there, and the worksheets. Our zip pouches are there as well. So anything we've created for Artistic Digitizer is saved over in that area. Even the videos I do over here, I pop them over there as well. So you can find a lot of information on that page. Okay, I think I'm going to let everybody go. I'm back tomorrow over on the Continental Club page, and I'm going to be talking about the Janome apps. We're going to look at all of the apps, and then we're also going to look at Embroidery Link just a little bit. So if you want to hear about the apps, if you want to see what they're all about, or you haven't tried them yet, or you want to find out more, pop over tomorrow over there, 3 p.m. on the Continental Club. And then next week, right here, same time, same place, I'll be doing a cutwork demo where we're going to create our cutwork in the software, and then we're going to take it to the machine, and I'm going to do everything from start to finish, creating it, to stitching it, to using the cutwork needles, to cutting it out. We're going to make a little cutwork coaster. So pop on back for that for next week on Thursday. All right, everyone, have a great day, and we'll see you again. Bye for now.